Hello everyone, welcome to my vlog. Um, I live in the state of Alabama and plan to be licensed here, so I looked up the Alabama Board Code of Ethics, and I found it to be very similar to the ACA Code of Ethics, actually almost word for word, when explaining the information needed in an informed consent form. The Alabama Board did leave out the counselor's qualifications and experience, as well as the continuation of services after death or incapacitation of a counselor. However, these are discussed in more detail in other sections of the code. The Alabama Code of Ethics did go on to include that it is the client's choice to consent or not, and that it is imperative that the professional counselor make sure the client has complete understanding of the informed consent as well as the client's rights. I found it interesting that nowhere in the Alabama Code did it mention cultural sensitivity explicitly, only the prohibition of discrimination. For this form, I chose the informed consent form from North Alabama Family Psychiatry and Counseling. The form begins with the notice of privacy of protected health information, including consent to disclosure for treatment and billing, the right to revoke at any time, and the right to access client records. It then moves on to clearly state the exception and privacy in the actual informed consent for treatment section. It stated the client's right to understand, question, discuss, and refuse treatment or diagnoses. The understanding that there is no guarantee of positive outcome of treatment, as well as full understanding of the informed consent, privacy, rights, and payment agreements. Further along, there is a section detailing patient rights and responsibilities, including being respected regardless of race, culture, religion, or sexual preference, the right to make informed decisions regarding their own treatment, the right to receive quality treatment from a trained professional in a safe environment, and the right to file a complaint if necessary. They describe how it is the patient's responsibility to ask questions if they do not understand, to accept any consequences of treatment refusal, to follow the rules of the practice, and meet financial agreements and time commitments. The main things I noticed missing from this particular form is any information on terminating the relationship, nor an explanation of what were to happen in case of counselor incapacitation or death. I did not see anything describing implications of diagnosis or use of tests either. Overall, I felt the North Alabama Psychiatry and Counseling's informed consent was comprehensive but concise. It wasn't too long. It was right around 5 pages. It was clear and easy to read. They require clients' initials for each section, as well as a signature for an overall acknowledgement and understanding of the presented material. There was also a statement saying this information would be given to the client both in written and verbal forms. And out of curiosity, I looked quickly at the informed consent that I had signed for my own personal counseling, and I was shocked to see just how big it was with just like 8 statements, basic statements. I'm ashamed to admit that I did not pay much attention to that when I signed the agreement initially. Nor was it ever discussed in any of my counseling sessions. I was never asked, if I understood all the information, if I understood my rights. So it just makes me curious as to how many clients truly read and understand the importance of the information in the informed consent, or their rights or responsibilities as clients, but also how many professional counselors are actually initiating the conversation with their clients to make sure they are aware, or if they have any questions about their rights, responsibilities, or consent. it's interesting to me how wide the range is of information given in these informed consents across the profession. It makes me wonder how some counseling services get by with more vague consent forms and how we can make this more unified, perhaps by making a more detailed list of requirements in the ACA Code of Ethics. And that is all. Thank you for listening.